Yes, welcome again, my second students. In this video, I will explain some notes, information about the poem The Hind by Sir Thomas Wyatt. The Hind. So, before that, I would like to explain something about the hind as the title of this poem, which refers to a kind of animal that is female there. Whoso list to hunt, I know where is in hind. But as for me, hélas, I may no more. The vain travail hath wearied me so sore. I am of them that farthest cometh behind, yet may I by no means my word mind. I drew from the deer, but as she fleeth afar, fainting I follow, I leave off the foe. Sithence in a net I seek to hold the wind. Who lost her hand, I put him out of doubt. As well as I may spend his time in vain, and graven with diamonds and letters plain. There is written her fair neck round about, Noli me tangere, for Caesar's I am, and wild for to hold, though I seem tame. Sir Thomas Wyatt. First of all, describes a love journey. A man follows a lady. In the picture of hunting journey, a person follows animal. Sir Thomas Wyatt describes the physical appearance of the hind. She is the hind. She is the hind here is personified, given human qualities by the poet Sir Thomas Wyatt. The hind is like beautiful lady. Her body is nice, sweet, and she has big black eyes with long lashes. She has a gentle gait and a sweet look. The poet, first of all, gives us invitation to hunt that lady. The poet, Sir Thomas Wyatt, wants to hunt that lady, but this is impossible. Why? Because he became interested in her, Anne Boleyn. Her name was Anne Boleyn, but then she became a wife of the King Henry VIII. So the poet, Sir Thomas Wyatt, became frustrated and confused. He knows where this animal is found, but he cannot go behind her because he is so tired. The poet cannot catch the wind by a net. It is so difficult mission because she is the wife of the king. He cannot go behind her. He cannot go to meet her actually, because the king means power, authority, while the poet is weak person. Then he decided to write some beautiful lines about her beauty, splendor, purity, chastity, as if he is decorated her neck with diamonds. The poet actually wants to tell us some purposes, subjects, and themes behind his writing this poem. He wants to show that the separation between the poet and the lady and Bolin, because he became tame while she became wild. And in fact, the king, Henry VIII, imprisoned the poet, Wyatt, Sir Thomas Wyatt, and the lady Bolin lost her head. Imagine that. So the poet wanted to view that we are to be in love with the person who doesn't bring problems and troubles for us. We have to choose, select our lovers in order to exchange their love perfectly and accurately. The speaker of this poem speaks of his beloved, the lady, the woman, the sweetheart whom he wants to be in love with. This poem, this text pictures the personality of the poet's lady as a lovely, as beautiful woman with some features such as softness, kindness, compassion, and then wildness and ferocity. Actually, this lady or this hind as a kind of animal or as a lady has what? Contrarious features. This poem shows the conflict among three characters. So this poem has three characters: the poet and his sweetheart, and the king, that are represented in love affair. The man did his best to be with her, but unfortunately, the king forced her to be his wife. The king, as I told you before, has power, money, wealth, authority. She is wild with the poet, while she is soft, kind with the king. The poet addresses the hind as if it were his beloved, his lady. The poet, first of all, apostrophizes and personifies the hind in this poem. The poet, Sir Thomas Wyatt, metaphorizes his idea, his thought about how the air can be caught by the net. It is impossible to do that, but the speaker, Sir Thomas Wyatt, wanted to show that his love affair is so tough, difficult, and complex. You see this? And love, in general, should be flexible, soft, tender between the lovers. But in this poem, as a silent paint shows, elucidates, clarifies a struggle, a conflict between the three figures of this story. And then, when the poet, Sir Thomas Wyatt, said, "Nolly me Tangerine, don't touch me, because she is the wife of the king, King Henry VIII." Here, the poet used Caesar. We can call that in literature allusion or a reference to a historical character, Caesar. You see this? Caesar is the king, and then she is wild, but the poet himself is tame. So actually we find contrarious feelings between the poet and the lady in the final part of this poem. So this poem is so beautiful, as a masterpiece written by Sir Thomas Wyatt. Thanks so much for your listening for this simple explanation or some notes you can get from this video. And I would like to say you can keep just 4 lines from this text, from this poem, and to have some information about the poet's life with his main features, 2 or 3 features, and God bless you in your mission. Thank you so much again.